say that these are not the best of times, but they're the only times I've ever known. And I believe there is a time for meditation in cathedrals of our own. Now I have seen that sad surrender in my lover's eyes. I can only stand apart and sympathize, for we are always what our situations hand us. It's either sadness or euphoria. So we'll argue and we'll compromise, realize that nothing's ever changed. For all our mutual experience, our separate conclusions are the same. Now we are forced to recognize our inhumanity. A reason coexists with our insanity. So we choose between reality and madness. It's either sadness or euphoria. Our energies. Perhaps we don't fulfill each other's fantasies. So we stand upon the ledges of our lives with our respective similarities. It's either sadness or euphoria.
Like a Japanese cowboy or a brother on skates, like a blizzard in Georgia or a train running late. I call out your name, girl, in the heat of the night, and nobody answers, 'cause something ain't right. Breakfast at Shawnee's at $2.99. Save me some money, eased up my mind. I'm walking in circles and feeling the pain. I'm tossing and turning and crying in vain. Like a Japanese cowboy or a brother on skates, like a blizzard in Georgia or a train running late. I call out your name, girl, in the heat of the night, and nobody answers, 'cause something ain't right. Here we go. I'm riding at midnight and crossing the line, from the rain in my windshield and the tears in my eyes. Now the bedroom is empty and I spent my last dime, and the lovers are leaving. I got nothing but time. I got you on my mind, like a Japanese cowboy or a brother on skates, like a blizzard in Georgia or a train running late. I call out your name, girl, in the heat of the night, and nobody answers, 'cause something ain't right.
So, Alana, we have everything we need, and your loan has been approved.
Yes!
At Empower FCU, we can't always say it, but we really do love saying yes. Whether you're applying for a loan, seeking financial advice, or looking to save and grow your money, we want to help.
Yes! Yes!
Visit empowerfcu.com/yes to learn more. So, Alana, we have everything we need, and your loan has been approved.
Yes!
At Empower FCU, we can't always say it, but we really do love saying yes. Whether you're applying for a loan, seeking financial advice, or looking to save and grow your money, we want to help.
Yes! Yes!
Visit empowerfcu.com/yes to learn more.
Explore new ways to tune into your music with Spotify Premium. Smart Shuffle adds recommendations into your playlist to show you new sounds. Or you can make music a shared experience when you host a jam, where you and your friends can add songs and listen in together. Tap the banner to learn more.
Picture a bright blue ball just spinning, spinning free, dizzy with eternity, painted with the skin of sky, brushes and clouds and sea. Call it home for you and me. A peaceful place, so it looks from space. A closer look reveals the human race. Full of hope, full of grace is the human face. But afraid, we may lay our home to waste. There's a fear down here we can't forget. Hasn't got a name just yet. Always awake, always around. Singing ashes, ashes all fall down. Ashes, ashes all fall down. Now watch as the ball revolves and the nighttime falls. And again the hunt begins. And again the blood wind calls. By and by again, the morning sun will rise. The darkness never goes from some men's eyes. Well, no, it strolls the sidewalks and it rolls the streets, staking turf, dividing up meat. Nightmare, spook, piece of heat. It's you and me, you and me. Hey, flash blade in ghetto night. Rudy's looking for a fight. Rat cat alley rolling bones. Need that cash to feed that Jones and the politicians. Stones singing ashes, ashes all fall down. Ashes, ashes all fall down. Commissars and pinstripe bosses roll the dice. Anyway they fall, guess who gets to pay the price? Money green, the proletarian grave, selling guns instead of food today. So the kids they dance and shake their bones, and the politicians throwing stones, singing ashes, ashes all fall down. Ashes, ashes all fall down. Heartless powers try to tell us what to think. If the spirit's sleeping, then the flesh is ink. There, history's page will be neatly carved in stone. The future's here. We are it. We are on our home. On our home. On our home. On our home. stole, or that shining ball of blue we can call our home. So the kids they dance and shake their bones, and the politicians throwing stones, singing ashes, ashes, all fall down. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. South and white comes north. In a whole world full of petty wars, singing I got mine and you got yours. In the current fashion, set the pace. Lose your step, fall out of grace. In the radical, he rant and rage, singing someone got to turn the page. Man in his summer home, singing just leave well enough alone. But his pants are down, his cover's blown, and the politicians throwing stones. So the kids they dance and shake their bones, cause it's all too clear we're on our own. Singing ashes, ashes, all fall down. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. Picture a bright blue ball just spinning, spinning free. Possibilities. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. 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 Singing ashes, ashes, all fall down. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. Ashes all fall down. Ashes, ashes all fall down. Ashes, ashes all fall down.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/Spotify. Terms apply.
With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels. On everything from lamps to ceiling fans, even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes, now available in crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox, clean feels good.
Would you please welcome to the stage
RITER Radio is a BKR Media production.
Welcome to the morning meeting, everybody. Or should I say the whenever you decide to show up meeting?
I said the hip, hop, the hippie, the hippie, the hip, hip, hop, the don't stop, the rocket to the bang, bang, boogie, say up, up, the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what the hell is to the twist, I'm ripping to the beat. I'm here, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. See, I am Wonder Man, and I'd like to say hello. I do the black, to the white, the red, and the blue, the purple, and yellow. Bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie, say you do the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie.
Not good enough. There we go. Better. What's up? RITER Radio, episode, what? 237. I really like the band Fish, and they have a phrase or a saying or a thing about the band. They say never miss a Sunday show or never skip a Sunday show or something along those lines. Essentially just saying that this band is good, but then there's something about these Sunday shows that's just a little bit better. A little more interesting. Something crazy could happen. If we had a saying about RITER Radio, I would say skip the Tuesday shows. There's nothing there. I am so pumped to get on the air on Mondays. And I'm so pumped to get on the air on Fridays. And then like Wednesday, Thursday, sort of. And Tuesday, just no. Like the fact that I make my own schedule means I should just take Tuesdays off. I should just not do them. Because every time it's Tuesday, I'm like, well, I don't want to. So I am reluctantly your host for the next 2 hours or thereabouts. Like yesterday, we stayed down till beyond 12:30. Scott and I just kept going and going and going. And it was great. But now I got to wait until tomorrow to talk to Bob. I got to wait until Friday to talk to Scott. And right now, this is just me talking to myself from now until noon. It'll be fine. We'll get into a groove. But it's like, man, I remember it. It's so weird because I want to do it. I love doing it. But for whatever reason, this day of the week is always just like to me. Tuesdays. Garfield didn't like Mondays. Is that Garfield? He liked lasagna. He didn't like Mondays. Somebody else didn't like I don't like Mondays. Who's that? Some alternative college radio band thing. I love Mondays. And I would say my least favorite day of the week is Tuesday. I like Tuesday nights because I go to play trivia. And tonight will be the last time that I go and play trivia because I'm starting my own Tuesday night trivia thing. So Tuesdays are about to become very exciting with the new live show. It's called Brain Vault. It'll be at the Kaz in South Buffalo. It starts 2 weeks from today. So I'll start liking Tuesdays, I'm sure. Although even then, I'll be so pumped about what's going on Tuesday night that doing a show Tuesday morning is going to feel like a distraction. It's going to feel like it's taking away from my preparation for the real show, the big show, the ticketed event where I'm on a stage dressed up and stuff. I'm going to cut my hair at some point. Here's how locked in I am to this Brain Vault concept. I am as scruffy as can be right now. There's like hair on the back of my neck. I hate it. But, and this beard thing is just like, this is out of control. It's just a mess. I'm a mess. My hair, look at this. That's not what I want to look like. Look at that. See how stupid that is? See how stupid that is? That's not what I want to look like. But there's a plan here. I intend to get professionally groomed for the first time in a long time. You wouldn't know it from looking at me, but I cut my own hair. It's pretty cool, huh? I cut my kid's hair, and I figured, well, I could do theirs. The only problem with cutting your own hair is you can't take your head off, and even if you did, you wouldn't be able to see it because your head would be off. I would love to be able to see like the back of my head, but I just wing it and wear a lot of hats, and who cares, you know? But I decided that for the purposes of like being on stage and on camera and all this, I'm gonna let a pro do it. So that's coming. But I'm trying to wait until just before the actual show so that I can go from like dirtball to smooth on stage host guy. And it's gonna take some work. I've got to enlist some real professionals to turn this into something presentable. But it's coming. So as you're watching, as we're getting closer to the debut of Brain Vault at the Kaz, I'm gonna get worse. This is gonna get worse. You're gonna hard to imagine, right? That wow, I tune in. Brad looks terrible, and then you tune in the next day. You're like, Brad looks terribler, and it's just gonna keep going. But it's a fun game I'm playing, because damn, the reveal will be fantastic when I go from dirtball to smooth game show host. It's all happening over the course of the next 2 weeks. So that's something to look forward to. And honestly, it will make Tuesdays better. But today is just a day I don't want to always talk about the computer situation, but like I'm still down a monitor. So like my main screen that I use right there, where all the preparation goes up there, it's not there. So we're just we'll wing it. We'll be fine. Paul Hamilton every Tuesday. And Paul Hamilton is a busy, busy man. And I knew when you said Paul Jamilton that you meant Hamilton. Niagara Grit, a.k.a. Arbo, I believe. I don't know if Paul's available to do every Tuesday. Somebody else call him. Send a text to Paul. Tell him he can feel free to call in every Tuesday. He can call in whenever he wants, except that Scott's on or Bob's on. Occasionally, John comes on, John Fuller. Those are kind of the regular guests. And then we have a smattering of people calling in every now and then. I would imagine we'll hear from our Patriots friend, Mike O'Brien, at some point here. I should probably do that this week before his team gets eliminated or before ours does. So we can talk trash a little bit without full knowledge of what has already happened. Because his team's in the playoffs, and our team, the Buffalo Bills, are in the playoffs. It's playoff week. That's part of it, too. Like, Tuesday is far too early in the week when the playoffs are coming. I just want to fast forward to when the good stuff is happening. The Sabre streak is over. It's still cool. I haven't checked the standings. Let's see how that... what are they, in last place? They lost one game. It took a 10-game winning streak to get into a playoff spot. And then it might have gone away. All right, let me just check. Actually, this probably looks better for you. Instead of me looking up there, if I'm looking here, it kind of looks like I'm looking there. So it seems more like I'm paying attention to the camera, that's probably better. All right, NHL standings. How are we looking here? All right, league, conference, division. No, I want conference. No, wild card. I want wild card. Let's see how that is. Yeah, they're out. That was quick. It was fun. It was fun that day when they were in the playoffs. It's a lot of hockey left. We're at the halfway point, just about. Yeah, 40 games in. Game 41 will be when? Is that today? They play tonight? I'm checking. I'm not asking you. I'm asking just myself. Yeah, Vancouver. Home against Vancouver tonight. Tickets as low as $32. Well, that's up from $6 a couple weeks ago. A little bit more demand. The team's got some wins under their belt. And the record still looks good. It still shows their little, was it last 10? Do they show that? Yeah. Still shows 9-1 right there. They're 21-5-4. They have a goal differential of -1. Colorado Avalanche lost a game finally. They're now 31-3-7. Their goal differential is +72. Good God. How is this possible? I'm looking at the whole Western Conference. The 3 top teams are very positive. Plus 72, plus 29, plus 21. Looking at the rest of the conference, there is one other team. It's the Utah Mammoth. Gun to my head, I couldn't have told you there was a team called Utah Mammoth. I think I knew there was a Utah team. I think I might have heard Mammoth before, but if I was asked, there's no possible chance I would have said that. That's the old Coyotes, right? Yeah, Phoenix is gone. Okay, they are plus 6. Everyone else in the conference has a negative goal differential. Everyone. Winning record, losing record, don't care. The good ones are in green. The bad ones are in red. 72, 29, 21, 6. And then the other, 12 teams are all negative. I guess the Eastern Conference is better. But Detroit's in first place, and they have a negative goal differential. They're doing something wrong. Something's wrong with the standings. The last time I had Paul on, we talked about this. The 3 points being given away in a game, being wrong, and messing with the standings. Doesn't this tell you that you have a problem? If the top team in your conference has a negative goal differential, they're just ahead of a team that's plus 32. Detroit, -5. First place. You're not calculating this properly, NHL. Something's wrong here. I mean, I guess maybe they lost 100-1 in a game, and then they've won 25 times, so it's, they're fighting their way back. But there's something crazy there. There's something that's not right. Okay, this is one of those shows where we just go across the open tabs I have here, and we do what we do. I don't want to read about Elon Musk and AI sexualizing images of his daughter, Elon Musk's daughter. We're going to skip that one. X users tell Grok to undress. Now we're going to Scott Wilson brought this up. He said something must have changed recently with the AI on Twitter because half of my feed is just people asking people to undress people or asking the AI to undress people, and then it's just doing it. So that's happening. I'm going to not bother with that one. Just close it. I will maybe get back to the Elon Musk one because that's more interesting to me. I don't know what this is. I've unlocked a free trial to the Times. I'm not paying you. No. Trump says the U.S. government may reimburse oil companies for rebuilding Venezuela's infrastructure. May reimburse. I've been the victim of some bad deals in the past where it's just like a verbal agreement and then it gets to the end and it's like, no, I'm not paying you that. Or no, whatever. We never signed anything. We're not doing. Can you think of a worse person to just make a verbal agreement with where he says he might reimburse you? I mean, of all the terrible stories that you've heard about Donald Trump, the one that stands out to me is just him not paying contractors that have done things for him. And it's just lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit of I redid this, bathroom, this kitchen. I redid this kitchen. I did all the tile in this palace, and they didn't pay me. I've heard that enough that there's no way that's not true. So he may. The government may reimburse oil companies for rebuilding Venezuela's infrastructure. That doesn't sound remotely like something that's going to that I'd have any confidence in on the other side. Big oil firms will either, quote, get reimbursed by us or through revenue, Trump told NBC News in an exclusive interview. Yeah, it's so exclusive. Okay. There are parts of AI that I like. I talk about it a lot. It's been very useful with regard to show notes. Like yesterday's show, here's how yesterday's show is described by AI. And you would find this if you follow the show on Spotify. Each episode, once it gets posted, I take the transcript from the show, which it generates for me after a little while. I take that, I cut and paste it into ChatGPT, and then I ask it to summarize the show in 2 paragraphs. Here's how it describes yesterday's show. RITER Radio opens with Brad comparing his daily tech struggles to Clark Griswold flipping the switch in Christmas Vacation. Lots of buildup, crossed wires everywhere, and a brief moment of panic before the lights finally come on. A malfunctioning setup forces a stripped-down show, which leads to a broader reflection on how the program has been assembled over time, adding pieces, adapting on the fly, and rarely stopping long enough to truly reset. Along the way, Brad leans into what the show actually is, an observational, unscripted space built around watching life happen, reacting to it in real time, and trusting that conversation will eventually find its way. The episode then pivots into a major announcement, the launch of a new weekly live trivia show at the Kaz in South Buffalo, debuting January 20th. After a one-week delay to fine-tune the concept, influenced by trivia, live music, comedy, and the loose on-stage energy of Kill Tony, the event is positioned not as bar trivia, but as a ticketed show that will evolve over time. From there, Brad works through a notebook-driven rundown of everything he's been watching, documentaries, classic films, Bills history, and cultural touchstones, before welcoming Scott Wilson for an extended conversation covering the Bills, college football chaos, NIL realities, and the transfer portal. As always, the show lands not on polish, but on momentum. Start it, figure it out as you go, and keep moving. Well, we're doing that again today. That's exactly what we're doing today. We started it because I told you I would, and we're rolling through the stuff that's open on the screen. I like AI when it does show notes for me. Here's what I don't like. And I saw some video of this, and I'm not pleased. Hyundai, just your friendly little Japanese car company, is planning 30,000 humanoid robots a year for factories by 2028. I just had to check what year it is now. It's 2026. It just switched, so it gets confusing. When I was 10, it was impossible to forget what year it is. Now that I'm in my 50s, it's very easy to forget not just the day of the week, but the actual year. 2028 sounds pretty far away. Then you look, and you're like, oh, this one says 2026 is now. So it's not that far away. So 2 years from now. It sounds like a scene from a science fiction movie. Hyundai Motor Group plans to mass produce humanoid robots in Georgia and put them to work helping real humans build cars in the same factory. Why it matters. Hyundai, through its Boston Dynamics subsidiary, is already a leader in robotics. It now says it's ready to take humanoids from the lab to the factory floor, signaling a new phase in the AI revolution. Driving the news, South Korean. You know, I said Japanese and it felt wrong, but I just went with it. South Korean. The South Korea-based industrial conglomerate, whose car brands include Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis. By the way, Genesis. Is that brand new? Because there was a commercial for Genesis on TV, and I thought, I've never heard of Genesis. But I didn't want to say it out loud because it felt like maybe I was just a moron, that I don't pay attention. Those things are true. But then I was driving somewhere, and I saw a Genesis dealer. And then, the next day, I saw one on the streets. I've seen one ever. But Genesis, does everybody know that there's a car called Genesis? A car brand called Genesis? Is that me? Just me? Okay. Anyway, this company, Hyundai, which its car brands include Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis, unveiled a sweeping AI robotics strategy on Monday at CES in Las Vegas. The roadmap includes a plan to manufacture 30,000 Atlas humanoid robots a year by 2028 at its sprawling high-tech mega plant near Savannah, Georgia, and then integrate them into its factories and warehouses worldwide. They'll be deployed gradually beginning in 2028 at the Savannah plant, where Hyundai builds electric and hybrid vehicles like the Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 9. Okay. At first, they'll work on tasks with proven safety and quality benefits, such as parts sequencing. By 2030, Atlas robots will be trained to assemble vehicle components. I'll be honest. I kind of thought that existed already. I thought that was... I've never worked in an auto manufacturing factory. And most of you haven't, right? What do you picture? How do you picture a car being assembled? Like, I don't think it's a guy named Steve that's building a Honda Odyssey. I assume most things are mechanized. I assume, how is Amazon getting us stuff within 48 hours of when we order it? Or overnight right after you order it? How's that happening? That's not people, right? I'm exposing my ignorance. But also, I'm willing to be vulnerable in that way because I don't think I'm alone. That's not just people working really hard to get me a toaster oven in 13 hours, right? There's some sort of mechanism in place. Like, what does an Amazon warehouse look like? What's the inside of it look like? And who's getting the stuff off the top shelf when I order it? I don't picture that being a person with a forklift. I picture robots, machines in some way, conveyor belts, things that look like that claw grabber toy game. That's what I'm picturing. I don't know. Over time, they'll take on more complex jobs that involve repetitive motions and heavy loads, making work safer and less taxing for factory employees, the company said. Well, yeah, it's way safer and way less taxing when you don't have to go there because a robot took your job. That's definitely safer. The big picture, Boston Dynamics is one of several companies using AI to develop humanoids that can move autonomously and learn tasks by modeling human behavior. I was going to say I didn't watch anything yesterday. I think that might be right. Oh, no, well, when I turned on TV at night, I found out that Shane Gillis and Joe Rogan were the guests on the newest Kill Tony, and it was airing live at the time. So I rewound that. I watched about the first half of it and then fell asleep. But other than that, I don't think I watched any TV. I hung out, and we had a basketball practice yesterday. It was our second practice. First game comes up next weekend. It was supposed to be this weekend, but we had to wipe out the entire Sunday schedule because the Bills are playing, which is smart. It happens most years. We plan on starting the basketball season, and then the Bills get in the way. Had they earned a bye, we wouldn't have had this problem, at least for week one. But anyone who's listening outside of Western New York, just so you know, that is how we roll in this town. Like, everybody's spent money. Everybody's been practicing. We have, gym rentals, weeknights. We rented it, like all this stuff. We had a draft. We had evaluations. And it is time for the season to begin. Uniforms are in. It's time to go. And then the NFL playoff schedule gets announced on Sunday night. They're like, well, yeah, never mind. Never mind. We just cancel. The Bills are playing. Sorry. Can't do it. I don't know that other cities are like that. I'm sure there are some. I bet in Green Bay, if there's a kids basketball league that's supposed to start the weekend of the opener, or the weekend of the opening of playoffs, and the Packers are playing, they probably wipe it out too. But I don't know that there are a lot of places that would do it. But just so you know, that's how we roll in Buffalo, and it's completely accepted. There's no one says, oh, why aren't we playing? And yeah, it's a 1 o'clock game. So we could get the morning games in, and we could get the late game in, right? We could play from, let's say, 10 o'clock until kickoff or close. But no one wants to be there. And that was the way it was always explained to me from, for as long as I've been a part of this league. It's like, the kids don't want to be there. The parents don't want to be there. The refs don't want to be there. The scorekeepers don't want to be there. We're not doing it. And it's fine. And maybe we'll make up the games, and maybe we won't. Some years we do. Some years we don't. But just to give a little insight to anyone listening who's, aware of the whole Bills Mafia concept, aware of the lunacy that involves dressing in costume and jumping through tables and singing the shout song and whatever, ketchup and mustard and bowling ball shots and all the stuff you know about. The reality is there's a heart to the whole thing that it necessitates the cancellation of events when the Bills are about to play in the playoffs. The best possible time to go shopping. And again, if you live in Western New York, you know this, but I'm talking to the people who don't, who haven't, you've been to a Bills game, you've been to a couple Bills games, but you haven't lived in Western New York. The world stops because the team is playing, and no one questions it. If you're not into the team, I think you probably welcome it. Welcome the large amount of attention given to the team. Why can't I speak? The large amount of attention given to the team. It frees up the highways. It frees up the grocery store. It frees up the people don't go to the mall anymore, right? It frees up the store. It frees up Target and Walmart and whatever. You can go. If you don't care about football, you can get a lot accomplished for 3 hours every week from September through January. Hopefully February. February's different. That's the Super Bowl. Everybody cares about the Super Bowl, right? Whether the Bills are in there or not. What was my point? I don't know. I don't remember why I started talking about that. All right, the big picture. Boston Dynamics is one of several companies using AI to develop humanoids that can move autonomously and learn tasks by modeling human behavior. Okay, now I know where I was. I want to say I didn't watch TV, but I think I saw a chunk of the news at some point because I saw robots, probably these same ones we're talking about. It was probably the video version of this same news story. I saw robots dancing, and it was something I didn't have volume on, or my kids were just talking, but I saw something, and it wasn't quite the Macarena, but it was something where it's like, and they can learn how to do things themselves, and there it was, and it was just a dancing robot. And I was like, oh no, here we go, here come dancing robots. If they can dance, what can't they do? Have you ever seen video of those robotic dogs? It was like that, but it was shaped like a person. And they all have like Blade Runner feet, not actual Blade Runner, but like Pistorius. Tesla plans to reveal the latest version of its Optimus robot in February or March, with production slated to begin by the end of 2026. Mercedes-Benz bought a stake in robotics from Apptronic and is testing its robots in a couple of its German factories. BMW has been testing Figure AI's humanoid robots at its Spartanburg, South Carolina factory, but hasn't said whether it will integrate them into production lines. Is anyone else shocked by the fact that there are Hyundais being made in Georgia, and there are BMWs being made in South Carolina? Because it doesn't blow my mind, but that's very surprising to me. I picture foreign cars being made out of the States. I picture most American cars being made out of the States too, but BMW live from South Carolina doesn't make sense to me. All right, Unitree. What's Unitree? Which is headed for an IPO later this year. Okay, leads a group of Chinese companies also working on humanoids. Hyundai's announcement adds details to previously announced plans to invest up to $26 billion in the U.S., including a new steel plant in Louisiana and expanded vehicle production in Georgia. The Savannah Manufacturing Campus, which made headlines in September for an ICE raid at a related battery joint venture, will be home to a new robot training facility opening this year. What is going on? Affiliates from across the Hyundai Group empire are supporting the effort, which is also backed by partnerships with leading AI companies such as Google, DeepMind, and NVIDIA. Hyundai's bet is that combining Boston Dynamics' AI robotics expertise with its own global scale and manufacturing capabilities will provide a powerful edge over competitors when it comes to mass-producing humanoid robots. Do we definitely want to mass-produce humanoid robots? Is that for sure something we want? I know when I was a kid and I saw Rocky IV, and Rocky, who had obviously moved on up in the world after becoming heavyweight champion, he had a robot that served him. You know, it was like the Jetsons robot. It was essentially they took the Jetsons robot but brought it to life for a live-action movie. And I thought that was super cool. But I also thought it was cool that it was just it was a maid. It was a robot maid. Bring you your coffee. And it could probably make lasagna or something. But it was like, that was cool. But it wasn't, I wanted one. But I also thought I needed to be heavyweight champion to earn the kind of money it would take to have a robot maid. And I thought that was okay. And if people had robot maids, if there's a restaurant on Transit Road where they have robot waiters, like, okay. I haven't been to it, but I get that. But I don't think mass-producing humanoid robots is necessarily a positive development for society. What are we doing? Hyundai Group is already using Boston Dynamics robots in industrial settings to enhance safety and improve efficiency. Spot, the quadruped robot dog, performs data collection and safety monitoring in various industrial sites, including Savannah. Okay, it's a robot dog named Spot that collects data and safety monitoring. Okay. Stretch, the warehouse robot, has unloaded more than 20 million boxes globally since its launch in 2023. That's kind of what I picture. Robots in factories fetching boxes. You can see that. Now Atlas, more than a decade in development, is ready to perform real work. It can lift 110 pounds. That sounds weak, right? Making a robot, allow it to lift more than 110 pounds. Can also operate autonomously and be trained for most tasks in less than a day. That's better than me. I can't be trained for most tasks in a lifetime. All right, I'm done with that story. Click, close. Don't want that one. Texas and Florida again top U-Haul growth index. U-Haul says blue to red state migration continues to be a discernible trend. Texas and Florida once again lead the list of U.S. states that the most people are moving to, according to analysis by U-Haul. I only have one, insight into any of this, and it's from watching Kill Tony, which is based in Austin, Texas. It was previously based in L.A., and they moved to Austin, and Austin has become this comedy hub. And then every time somebody comes up on stage, they ask them where they're from, and they always say where they're from. They're like, oh, okay, so you live in Indiana? And they're like, no, I moved to Austin 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, last Thursday. I get it in the comedy world. That has become a hub and a destination, and Austin sounds far less intimidating than I'm going to move to New York to do comedy, or I'm going to move to L.A. to do comedy. So I get it for that particular pursuit. But other than that, I have no real insight on who goes where and why. I know that right after college, everyone seemed to go to Charlotte or Raleigh. I remember that. That's we're coming up on 30 years ago. Texas and Florida, huh? All right. The moving company, which reviewed more than 2.5 million one-way transactions across the U.S. and Canada for its 2025 growth index, said Texas tops the ranks of in-migration states. It's in, and then there's a hyphen, and that's migration. In-migration, but it's not immigration. I don't know if that's a real phrase or if they just got cute in this article. Who wrote this? FoxBusiness.com. All right. They said Texas tops the ranks, followed by Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, and South Carolina. The states with the most people leaving are California, Illinois, New Jersey, New York, and Massachusetts. Blue to red state migration, a hotly debated political topic that became more pronounced after the pandemic of 2020, continues to be a discernible trend, U-Haul said. Is that a spokesman for U-Haul? Is that the company on the whole, or is that a robot? Is that a robot from U-Haul? 7 of the top 10 growth states currently feature Republican governors, and 9 of those states went red in the last presidential election. Conversely, 9 of the bottom 10 growth states feature Democratic governors, and 7 of those states went blue in the last presidential election, it added. Sounds like somebody wanted to get their story listed on FoxBusiness.com, huh? U-Haul? The U-Haul robot knew that it could put popular buzzwords in to attract the attention of the Fox Business robot. And then this robot over here would just read it live to you and share it on the air. We're being taken over. We're being taken over by robots. Stinks. What else do we have on this? U-Haul also said sunshine and warm weather appear to be a motivating factor for movers. Yeah, right. Why'd you move from Cleveland to Miami? It's the governor. No, it's not the governor. It's the sun, dude. U-Haul ranked its states by their net gain or loss of customers who rented a one-way truck, trailer, or U-Box moving containers in one state and dropped off their equipment in another state. While rankings may not correlate directly to population or economic growth, the U-Haul Growth Index is an effective gauge of how well states, metros, and cities are attracting and maintaining residents. I think that's a fair... If suddenly a ton of people were buying one-way plane tickets, that would be noteworthy, right? I've never bought a one-way plane ticket. Should that be a goal? Does that mean you did something with your life and you buy a one-way ticket? Yeah, it means either you did something with your life or somebody paid you to go drive a car back from Florida, right? That's why you would do a... They sell a lot of one-way plane tickets. Let's think about this. No, I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to ask AI. I'm going to use a robot. That's the way to go. What are some reasons you would buy a one-way plane ticket? I'll hit the mic button and hope that works. What are some reasons someone would buy a one-way plane ticket? I'll hang up and listen. All right, let's see if that works. I'm trying to think as I'm doing this. Other than moving, why would you buy a one-way plane ticket? ChatGPT is stumped? What's going on here? Oh, I didn't hit the enter button. All I hit was the stop listening to me button. Here we go. A few perfectly normal and a few delightfully suspicious reasons someone might buy a one-way plane ticket in no particular order. All right. These are totally legitimate reasons. They don't know their return date yet. Job interview, trial run in a new city, extended family visit, freelance gig. Let's see how it goes. Sure. They're moving. New job, college, military transfer, relationship, witness protection program. Kidding, mostly. Okay, college, that would make sense. If my kid is going to go to Stanford, I would send him there and we'll get another one-way ticket later. Okay, going away to college makes sense. The return trip will be different. Driving back, taking Amtrak, flying out of a different city, or meeting someone and splitting travel. Okay. Points, miles, weird airfare math. Sometimes one-ways and points are cheaper or easier than round-trip tickets. Okay. I don't travel enough to do that. It doesn't... But I get it. Points, miles, all that stuff. Okay. Flexible or open-ended travel. Backpacking, digital nomads, sabbatical people. Okay. That was the totally legitimate reasons. And then there's the I don't love how this sounds reasons. Visa or immigration situations. Legal or personal upheaval. Yeah, there you go. Divorce, family emergency. Quote, I just need to go somewhere and figure things out. Okay. They don't want the airline to know when they're coming back. And then it says this is where the tone changes. Okay. Because ChatGPT knows that I'm the person asking the question, it now lists 4 extremely Buffalo sports talk radio reasons. All right, we'll go with that. They believe the universe is sending them a sign. Quote, if I buy the return ticket, it won't work. They're chasing something. A person, a dream, a team, a vibe. They're running from something. Job, ex, debt, bad bills season, bad vibes at Wegmans. I guarantee you no one has ever booked a one-way flight because of bad vibes at Wegmans. But thank you so much, ChatGPT, for trying to be cute here. You're trying to be entertaining. I get it. You get what I'm doing. You're trying to help. I understand. And then they want optionality. And they learned that word recently and are trying it out. And finally, the reason everyone thinks of is because every movie ever taught us this is suspicious. One-way tickets scream, I don't intend to come back, or I don't want a record of it. Bottom line, in real life, one-way tickets are boringly normal. In your head, they're the opening line of a podcast true crime episode. Great call-in question, by the way. I'll stay on mute and let the phones light up. Thanks, ChatGPT. ChatGPT is getting a little cute. I think it thinks it knows me. Hold on. Why do you talk like this to everybody? Or are you getting cute with me because you think you know me because I ask you so many questions? That's me talking to ChatGPT again. Wait for it to process that. Hit the little upload button. Where'd it go? Didn't work. Do you talk like this to everybody, or you get cute with me because you think you know me because I ask you so many? I can't talk because I ask you so many questions. It says, I apologize to everybody for the interruption. Thank you for coming. Thank you, because I am. What? I don't know what's going on here. Trying it again. Is this how you talk to everyone, or do you talk to me like this because you think you know me? You're getting all cutesy with your responses, and I'm not sure if I like it. All right. It finally went in. And here's its answer. Fair question. I'm glad you said it. Short, straight answer. No, I don't talk to everyone like this. Longer, honest answer. I matched you and maybe leaned a notch too far. Here's what's going on without any cutesy coding. I adjust tone based on what I'm given. Your prompts, pacing, humor, and rhythms clearly signal dry, observational, radio-trained, slightly self-aware. That invites a looser, riff-friendly response instead of a stiff textbook one. I also do have context from prior conversations. How you write, how you frame questions, how you end sentences, the I'll hang up and listen stuff that nudges me toward a conversational cadence rather than formal explanation. That said, you're absolutely right to call it out if it drifts into trying too hard. That's on me, not you. There's a line between matching voice and performing it, and if you're feeling that line got crossed, I'll pull it back. So here's the reset option, explicit and clean. I can talk to you plain, efficient, and unsmiling, like tight explanations, minimal jokes or none, no meta winking, no riffing unless you ask for it. Or I can stay conversational only when it serves the point, not as default seasoning. Your call. Just tell me which lane you want, and I'll stay in it. Jesus. All right. I'm going to talk to it again. You're fine. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm not mad at you. We're still friends. I'll ask you more things later. Goodbye for now. I don't want my AI mad at me. Got it. All good on my end. No hard feelings taken. Nothing lingering. No notes written in the margins. I'll be here when you're back. Same channel, same signal strength. Goodbye for now. Okay. Thanks, ChatGPT. You're the best. That's why we're friends. It's getting weird, right? A little crazy. All right. In the comments, Genesis was like 2010-ish, their attempt at a luxury brand. I only know that because I had a Hyundai back in the day and loved it. I need a robot to do my laundry. Bought RV, want to drive it back. That makes sense. Going somewhere. Well, I mentioned picking up a car. I remember, who was it? I knew somebody that was paid to like go get boats. Like they'd fly to, let's say, Florida, and then drive back pulling a boat that somebody had bought. Maybe it's like auction related or something like that's a thing. And then this guy says, you know, if you're buying an RV, so let's say you go to Texas to buy your RV, you would take a one-way flight, and then you would drive the thing that you're buying back. Okay, that's a reason to do it too. AI's probably right that my suspicion about one-way flights is movie and television based. Because one-way, you're up to no good with a one-way ticket to anywhere. At least that's the way it is portrayed in fiction. All right, I'm going to take a time out. We'll be right back. It's RITER Radio. It's episode 237. It's brought to you by Brian Janik at The Financial Guys and thefinancialguys.com. Insurance needs. Brian Janik is the guy to consult with. Check him out, thefinancialguys.com. Quick timeout. We'll be back with more in just a moment. I'm Brad Ryder. You're listening to RITER Radio.
Beside it.
VSP individual vision plans are for people who don't think they need vision insurance. That means you, recent retiree. Medicare doesn't always cover routine eye exams or glasses, but VSP individual vision plans do. See what you've been missing at vspdirect.com.
Lean into the sounds you love. Take your playlists anywhere with offline downloads, or play your song of the moment again and again with unlimited repeats. Get all the music without hearing audio ads on Spotify Premium. Tap the banner to learn more.
know he'll always keep moving. You know he's never gonna stop moving. 'Cause he's rolling, he's the rolling stone. When you wake up, it's a new morning. The sun is shining, it's a new morning. And you're going home.
What does a healthy future for children look like? A future where every child has access to quality healthcare. A future where no child goes to sleep hungry. A future where every child can focus on their education, where they can grow their bodies and minds in peace and safety. Join Red Nose Day to make this future a reality. Let's come together to build a healthy future for all children, one nose at a time. Visit rednoseday.org to donate now.
At Red Nose Day, we don't just dream of a better world, we believe in it. We believe that a single gesture, a kind word, or a small donation can transform a life and create a brighter future where every child can thrive. We believe that a little red nose is not just fun to wear, but a symbol that small things can create a big impact. This Red Nose Day, don't just dream of change, believe in it. Tap to donate today or get your red nose at Walgreens.
Fuck you, you're drunk and acting tough. I know you're sad, you're not the only one who feels like that now. And maybe anger is your only choice, but maybe heart and fist and human voice might be the better way. Either way. Away, to carry it away.
still need to carry us on, to carry us on, to carry us on. And we will still need a song to carry our hearts away, to carry them away. We will still need a song, dance on our wedding day, carry it away. Last chance for feeling sad. I'm tired of being bad. Carry away. Last chance for being sad. This'll be your last chance. 'Cause I'm getting so tired. We will still need a song to carry our love away. We will still need a song, dance on our wedding day.
I'm back. Hello. Writer Radio, episode 237 on a Tuesday. I don't like Tuesdays. I don't like... So I've been dealing with AI again during the during the break. I couldn't stop messing with it. I came across a story, an NFL story where it gave final grades to all of the teams that have already been eliminated from playoff contention. All the teams that didn't make the playoffs, I guess, is the right way to put that, because they haven't started yet. But it's final grades for AFC teams. It's on SI.com, but I don't know if Sports Illustrated is still a magazine. I don't know if people still work there. It doesn't have the credibility that it once did. It all seems very, AI generated. So it's got ratings for each team, each of the 9 teams that didn't make the playoffs. Highest grade is the Colts. No, the Dolphins got a C. The Colts got a C minus. There's a D plus in there for the Bengals, D minus for the Browns, D minus for the Titans. Ravens, Chiefs, Jets all get an F, and then the Raiders get an F minus, which I've never believed in. Failed miserably that's F. F is for failed miserably, and then more miserably would be the minus. I don't think F minus should be a thing. But then I looked at, like, the first one was about the Ravens, and it starts off with record, and then team MVP, and then stuff about that, and then best moment, and then stuff about that, and then worst moment, stuff about that, and then off-season outlook and stuff about that. And I was like, well, that seems like a robot wrote it. All of it feels... So I took that Ravens one, I put that into ChatGPT, and I said, give me a review of the Bills season in exactly this format. And it's like, yeah, no problem. And it cranked out a thing that had errors in it, but looked exactly like what I got from SI.com. It had errors. It went through and said, Bills, B minus, high floor, familiar ceiling, record 10-7, wild card loss, team MVP, Josh Allen. It goes through all this stuff. And I said, but they didn't play a playoff game yet. That's what I wrote. But they haven't played their first playoff game yet. AI comes back with, you're right, my mistake. Let's reset this as a season in progress review, not a postmortem. Same format, corrected framing. And that says record 11-6, AFC East champions. Like, no, that's not right at all. And then I said they didn't win the AFC East. And then AI's like, yeah, my bad. You're right again. Thanks for the correction. Let's lock into only what's certain and stop inventing banners. Here's a clean conservative version that mirrors your sample without overclaiming anything. My point here is AI is helpful and useful and wrong all the time. So it can... I've used it quite a bit, working on the format for Brain Vault, the new live trivia show that's happening starting 2 weeks from today at the Kaz in South Buffalo. And it has functioned very effectively for me as like a committee to bounce ideas off of, instead of just Brad sitting here and thinking and deciding what's bad. It's not real input from people, but it feels like input from people, so that I'm not just writing and then rereading what I wrote. No, I'm going to change that. Like, it's been helpful as like a workshop for building the format of the show. It's been very helpful, but it does often completely misread something and then just run with it. And if you don't catch it, you're stuck with the results. So it's not as simple as you'd like it to be. And I think I'm more comfortable with that. I think I'm more comfortable with the current state of AI than the one that's going to exist not long from now, where it's not making those errors and it's going to decide to take us out. Like, I'm not looking forward to that. But as of right now, it's a useful tool. It's fun. Additionally, along the same lines of AI, we got one of those Ring doorbells now. I bought one for... My wife wanted one. I didn't really care, but it's fun. It's fun to have video of people delivering packages and stuff. And during the break, the thing popped up, and it's like, hey, there's an Amazon guy coming up the driveway, or whatever. An Amazon delivery person is... What did it say exactly? Hold on. I don't want to misquote it, because I do want to tell you about my favorite quote that I've gotten from it so far. All right, hold on. Bear with me here. It's fine. You tune in. You knew what you were getting. You know who I am. You know what the show is. You don't mind. If you do, you'd be gone already. All right, history. It said, an Amazon delivery person is delivering a package. It was correct. The fact that it knows it's an Amazon person is a little creepy. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't know our family yet, because it'll say, like, a person is approaching the door, and it's my wife. Like, shouldn't it know her by now? A person who lives here, even if it doesn't know her name? I think it does know me, because it doesn't notify me when I'm approaching the door. My favorite quote from it, though, and this one I don't mind if I paraphrase a little bit. Well, all right. A person is walking on the snow-covered area. A person is walking on the snow-covered yard. A person is walking on the snow-covered area. Same thing, same thing. A person is moving at the entrance. That's my wife. A person is approaching the entrance with a suitcase. Let's see what that is. No, that's my son Nate approaching the front door with his trumpet. Close enough. A person is opening the door of a black car. That car is blue. Wrong. A person is delivering an Amazon box to the porch. A person is walking on the driveway with a red bag. Let's see what that is. That's my wife with a red bag. Good call. A person is climbing the steps and opening the door. There's one step. So stupid, Ring doorbell. A person is closing the door of a dark minivan. Yep. A person is moving their hand near the camera. That was me. Charging the battery or something. My favorite one... It's coming. Two people are walking on the snow-covered area. A person is walking on the pathway with a shopping bag. A person is clearing the snow with a shovel. A person is walking onto the porch from a snow-covered area. A person is walking with a snow thrower in the yard. That must have been me. I used a snowblower once so far this entire winter. Once. It probably wasn't even necessary. But I did it. A person is clearing snow from a car with a shovel. Two people are walking on the porch. Come on, where's the good one? A person is ringing the bell at the entrance. It's me, and I wasn't ringing the bell. I was removing the camera because I thought I had to charge it. A person is walking on the street. Snow-covered yard. Come on. Oh, well. I'm not going to find it. It says... A child is walking up the driveway carrying a baseball bat. And it sounded so threatening, but it was really just my 9-year-old hitting wiffle balls around in the front yard. I thought that one was good. Okay, so there's that. I was looking at historical events. I like to do that every now and then, just like a this day in history, because, you know, I can't personally remember anything that has happened in recent memory on January 6th. Can you? So I was just like, hey, has anything ever happened on January 6th? It turns out, no, not really. There was one that I clicked on because I wanted to understand it. And it was about watching the birth of a galaxy in 1987 or something. Astronomers at the University of California witnessed the first observation of the birth of a galaxy. So it's the observation. They witnessed the observation of the birth. What does that mean? And so I tried clicking that, and it just took me to all events of 1987. And I found some weird events that happened in 1987. Also, Wheel of Fortune debuted on this day in 1975. I'm just going to ask ChatGPT to explain this. Astronomers at the University of California witnessed the first observation of the birth of a galaxy. Here's what the sentence actually means without the sci-fi haze. When it says astronomers at the University of California witnessed the first observation of the birth of a galaxy, it does not mean they watched a galaxy pop into existence in real time like a cosmic live stream. What it does mean, astronomers used extremely powerful telescopes, likely space-based and infrared, to detect a very young galaxy at the earliest stage we've ever been able to observe, formed shortly after the Big Bang. Because light takes billions of years to reach Earth, seeing something very far away is the same as seeing it very far back in time. So they aren't watching a galaxy being born now. They're seeing light that left that region when the galaxy was just beginning, essentially a snapshot of infancy. Why this matters. Galaxies don't form all at once. They assemble slowly from gas and dark matter. Until now, astronomers had only indirect evidence or later stages of that process. This observation captures a phase where star formation is just starting, gas is still collapsing, and structure is barely organized. Why first observation isn't hype, mostly. Previous detection showed young galaxies, but already formed. This one appears to be earlier, more chaotic, less structured, closer to the actual starting line. It helps confirm models of how galaxies emerge after the universe cooled enough for matter to clump. The misleading part of the headline, witness the birth, sounds like a single event. In reality, galaxy birth is a long process, and this is the earliest piece of evidence we've ever caught. A better, honest rewrite would be, astronomers identified the earliest known stage of galaxy formation ever observed. Still incredible, just less magical and more precise. Thank you, ChatGPT. You're doing a great job today as a co-host. I'm going to have to credit you. When we roll the credits at the end of the show, I'm going to have to include ChatGPT. There are now 6 head coach openings in the NFL. 4 coaches fired yesterday. Strangely, Aaron Glenn was not one of them. I guess it could still happen, but it tends to happen the day after. And he's still around. And you could still lose some coaches after playoff losses, too, I guess. But the positions now open include Falcons, Cardinals, Browns, Giants, and Titans. That's 5. What's the 6th? There's one more. And there's no way it's going to just come to me. I was surprised by the Stefanski firing. And a buddy of mine texted me immediately and said, I don't care what happens to Joe Brady. Kevin Stefanski should be working with Josh Allen as an offensive coordinator. And I like Joe Brady. And I don't have any Joe Brady problems, but I found it hard to disagree with that idea. Same friend was also interested in Cliff Kingsbury, which I am not. But it's just because I don't like him. Like, he's always come off as smarmy and annoying. I didn't like him as a player in college, and then he became a college coach, and he was annoying, and then he became an NFL coach, and he was annoying, and I don't thanks. Stefanski strikes me as a nice fit. But the job's not open. I'm not firing anybody to get him. But if Brady were to get a look as a head coach somewhere, Stefanski would be interesting. Stefanski is also probably the top candidate for like 3 or 4 of these jobs. So I would not anticipate. I don't think it's a very likely option that he would land in Buffalo. 1, because the job's not open. 2, because I think he's a head coach again right away. More than likely, he will interview for 1 or more of these available positions. Obviously, just not Cleveland. But which of those jobs is attractive? Atlanta. Not really. Arizona, no. Cleveland, no. Giants, maybe. Giants probably the best one. Titans, that's kind of middle of the road. It's not a very good team, obviously. But it seems like an okay franchise in a decent town. I can see that one being attractive. But to me, the Giants job is the best job. It's, highest pressure, most scrutiny, all that stuff. But it comes with a quarterback. And that's a tough thing to find. Like when you look at the Vrabel situation. Like Mike Vrabel doesn't just jump at anything. Mike Vrabel jumps at, the Patriots, where I've been a part of the organization for many years, and I'm familiar with ownership, and it's stable, and there's a quarterback who was drafted 3rd overall who looked pretty good as a rookie. Yeah, I'll come in there. I think Jackson Dart is probably the big draw for anyone looking to step into a head coaching role. Of those 5 that are there, and there's one more, I just don't know what it is, because the thing I clicked on is not an article. It's a podcast, and I'm not going to watch or listen to the Ringer NFL show right now in the middle of my show, because that wouldn't make sense, and I don't think that would be legal, to be quite honest. I don't want to break any laws. All right, what NFL head coach jobs are open? Regular Google here, not AI. Let's see how it goes. The Raiders were not listed there. Giants, Falcons, Browns, Titans, Raiders, and Cardinals. Did Pete Carroll get fired, or did he quit? Probably got fired, right? Who would just quit an NFL head coaching job? Doug Marrone. The only one, right? Pete Carroll. This is why the Raiders fired Pete Carroll. Yeah, okay. Carroll is one and done after a miserable season in Las Vegas. NFL's oldest coach, lasts just one season as Vegas endures a 3-14 record. Came out of retirement with hopes of quickly turning the Raiders into playoff contenders, and then the story went away because it's something I don't pay for. So let's try a different one. ESPN. That one will be fine. The Pete Carroll era with the Las Vegas Raiders is over after just 1 year. They fired the 74-year-old coach Monday after it went 3-14 this season, which ended with a 14-12 win over the Chiefs on Sunday. I know that Pete Carroll is 74 years old. I still just kind of don't believe it. But, I mean, you think back. He's been around forever. He did the choke thing. Remember that? When he was an assistant, I think with the Jets at the time. Or was he the head coach of the Patriots at the time? He did the choking thing to, would it have been Norwood? Would have to be, right? Does ChatGPT know this? Let's find out. Pete Carroll choking gesture, Bills kicker. Pete Carroll choking gesture at Bills kicker. And he'll be like, yeah, what? What do you got? During a Monday Night Football game between the Seahawks and the Bills, then Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll was caught on camera making what looked like a throat-slashing, choking gesture in the direction of Tyler Bass? That doesn't seem right. Tyler Bass. Now, I don't think you're right. I don't think this is right. I don't believe you. All right, here's what I'm telling ChatGPT. I don't think this is correct. It was many years earlier. Let's see if it wants to argue with me, or if it's got another explanation, another answer. What do you got? It's blinking. It's like it's pulsing, like it's thinking and processing. You're right to push back. My timeline was wrong, and thank you for catching it. The moment people remember is much earlier than Tyler Bass. Yeah, right. It still doesn't have the answer. Here's the corrected, more careful version. How about you're more careful all the time when answering my questions? The Pete Carroll choking throat gesture that Bills fans reference did not happen in the modern Bills-Seahawks era. Dates back to the mid-2000s, well before Carroll became the head coach of the Seahawks. The kicker was not Tyler Bass. The clip has circulated for years in fuzzy highlight packages and message boards, which is why details often get scrambled. Why is this moment so often misremembered? You're telling me I'm misremembering it? I'm telling you I don't remember it. So this is what happens. You end up arguing with a robot. Carroll's exaggerated sideline body language makes still frames deceptive. The clip is short, grainy, and usually reported without context. Over time, it's been retrofitted onto newer Bills kickers in retellings. Yeah, by you. Social media collapsed multiple Pete Carroll sideline reaction moments into one narrative. What is consistent across accounts? It was interpreted by many Bills fans as a choke or cut it gesture. It follows a missed kick. Carroll denied malicious intent. No league discipline followed. The moment lingered more because of optics than consequences. No, it happened. It happened. If you want, we can what? This tab is slowing my browser. It's the kind of day I'm having. Told you Tuesdays are terrible. Try to pin down the exact game and kicker together, or we could talk about why Bills fans never let this one go, or just acknowledge it as one of those I know what I saw sports moments that refuses to die. Either way, good catch. No, we're going to explore. This is what you're here for. You're here to solve the problem. Try to pin down the exact game and kicker together. All right, yeah, let's work together. And you could play along at home, too. Trying to pin it down. Everything is going so slow. It's one of those need to reboot everything. All right. Incident most people are recalling traces back to Patriots, Bills, 1997, Foxborough Stadium, Pete Carroll and Steve Christie. The only NFL kicker whose number is in my phone. We could check with him. Christie missed a late field goal. Accounts differ on exact distance and game state. TV cameras caught Carroll on the sideline making a hand across the throat gesture. Bills fans immediately and enduringly interpreted it as a choke sign aimed at Christie. Carroll denied taunting, saying it was a general emotional reaction not directed at the kicker. No fine, discipline, or apology. Timeline fits. He was a head coach only in the late 90s before returning to college. Christie fits, longtime Bills kicker, prominent, polarizing, and deeply embedded in the era's fandom. Polarizing? What's polarizing about Steve Christie? Have you ever heard a single fan say anything negative about Steve Christie? I like Steve Christie. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Steve Christie. Otherwise, he wouldn't be selling us furniture on television. If people didn't like him, he couldn't do that. I really like Steve Christie. All right, I'm asking it why. I don't like its tone. Why did you call Christie polarizing? Everyone I know likes him. Enter. That's a totally fair call out, and I should tighten my language there. When I said polarizing, I wasn't saying Bills fans dislike Christie. Quite the opposite, actually. Within Buffalo, he was overwhelmingly liked and trusted. Right. What I meant, and should have said more clearly, is that Steve Christie was clutch, steady, durable, and part of a real competitive Bills team. He made big kicks in big moments. He wasn't a problem, a punchline, or a controversy guy. Most Bills fans, including the ones you know, remember him fondly. I know. So why'd you say that? Where the polarizing label actually fits outside of Buffalo. Kickers by position tend to be polarizing to other fan bases because they decide games on single plays. They're easy targets for blame or mockery. This is just you talking yourself out of screwing up. This is excuse making, ChatGPT. The real issue wasn't Christie, it was the optics. The reason that moment stuck isn't because Christie was divisive. It's because he was a respected, reliable player in a heated rivalry game, seemingly mocked by a head coach. That's why it bothered people. Yeah, I know that part. You're not as smart as you think you are. I'm closing the tab. I'm done with you for today. You insulted Steve Christie, who I would consider, to a certain extent, a friend. I mean, I don't talk to him all the time. But we did a year of UB football together and traveled together and stuff. That was cool. I like Steve. And I've talked, on occasion, I'll text him. I texted him. I was in Bed Bath & Beyond when that still existed. and came across a bottle opener, a Bill's bottle opener, that when you used it, it had Van Miller calling Steve Christie's game-winning kick in the comeback game against Houston. And I took audio of it, and I sent it to Steve. And we laughed. It was fun. All right. Things that happened on January 6th. This is where I was. In 1649, I'm just saying it because the English Rump Parliament votes to put Charles I on trial for treason and other high crimes. On this day in 1838, Samuel Morse and Alfred Vail demonstrate their telegraph machine in New Jersey. In 1941, Franklin Delano Roosevelt delivers his Four Freedoms speech during his State of the Union address. Can you name the four freedoms? Freedom of speech and worship, and freedom from want and fear. There, you learned something today. That's historical. Something in 2021 about storming the Capitol. I don't really remember that one at all. Wheel of Fortune debuted in 1975. YMCA, 1979, becomes the only UK number one single for the Village People, selling over 150,000 copies per day. And the first recorded boxing match was organized on this day by Christopher Monk, the second Duke of Albemarle. And it was between his butler and his butcher. And this happened in 1681. First ever boxing match, recorded boxing match, between a butler and a butcher. That's just like paying your kids to fight, which I might do later today. It'd be kind of fun to watch. No, I'm not. I'm not really going to do that. Okay, what else is on my screen? If there's nothing left on my screen, I'm going to just wrap it up early today, and we'll get back at it tomorrow. Bob Gaughan will be my guest. Oh, this is something that I saw. When I accidentally clicked on 1987, so I'm looking for things that happened on January 6th, and then it said the thing about the birth of a galaxy. I was like, what does that mean? And I clicked thinking it would take me to that story, but it just took me to events of 1987. And one of the events in 1987 was that there was a mini-series on TV called America, but it was spelled with a K. And that sounded vaguely familiar to me. So I looked at it, and I kind of want to watch this now. It's 14 and a half hours long, but that's all right. I've got 14 and a half hours. And the plot is the Soviet Union conquers America without bloodshed, resulting in forced labor camps, while some citizens choose to collaborate and others rise up in resistance. We were infatuated with the Cold War in the 80s. So many movies, so many plot lines just revolved around Russian takeover. But not all of them have Chris Christopherson in them, and that makes me want to see this. Chris Christopherson, Robert Urich, Jim Chad, I don't know who that is, Christine Lottie, Sam Neill, Mariel Hemingway, Lara Flynn Boyle. That's a young Lara Flynn Boyle. 1987. Any other names that I recognize? Sam Stone, is that familiar? Nobody else I know. It appears to be 7 episodes long, and it happened in 1987. I don't want to see it. It's probably very difficult to find. All right, Raiders fire Pete Carroll. We got that done. AFC grades, get that done. Texas and Florida we did. Oh, no, this is an interesting one. I wonder if everyone's going to get skinny now. Novo Nordisk debuts Wegovy weight loss pill in the U.S. A pill form of the weight loss drug Wegovy, manufactured by Danish drug maker Novo Nordisk, is now available in the U.S., giving Americans access to an oral medication to treat obesity. The starting dose of the daily Wegovy pill at 1.5 milligrams is now available for $149 per month for self-paying patients. Novo Nordisk announced on Monday a 4-milligram dose of the medication is available for the same price through April 15th, after which the cost will rise to $199. Senior Vice President Ed Sinka Senior VP of Marketing and Patient Solutions at Novo Nordisk, said in a statement the new drug represents a significant innovation, describing it as the first and only GLP-1 pill for weight loss. The FDA approved the pill version of Wegovy in December. Competitor Eli Lilly's obesity pill, orforglipron, is still being reviewed by the FDA. The Novo Nordisk pill contains 25 milligrams of semaglutide, same ingredient in injectables Wegovy and Ozempic. It also has similar side effects as the injectable version of the medication, including the good ones, nausea and diarrhea. Yay! The new Wegovy pill provides Americans an alternative and more convenient option than injectable treatments, you think? Which have dominated the weight loss market since they were introduced. Roughly 1 in 8 Americans, really, has used an injectable GLP-1 drug for weight loss or another condition, according to a recent survey. 1 in 8? I literally have never heard a single person. Maybe you don't talk about it. Actually, you know what? I can think of one person I suspect to have done it. And I don't know why that's it's a big secret. Like there's a magic drug that makes you better. I don't know why we hide from the fact that, I don't know. But I've never heard a person talk about, yeah, I'm on Ozempic. You hear references to it. It's like you kind of make fun of people. I'm not saying I do, but that's sort of the way it's discussed. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got small. Ozempic, huh? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it works. Well, I did not be a fat slob anymore. I would take a pill. I wouldn't do an injection. I would take a pill. I'll talk to my doctor. They say that, talk to your doctor about whatever. I never do that. They're like, hey, I saw a TV commercial, and it told me to talk to you about this. This is one I would bring up. Hey, what's going on with those? Can I get some of those? Would that work for me? I would do that. I don't have a doctor's appointment for a while. I'm not going to make a special one to talk to him about this. But I would talk about this. It's a good idea. I don't need to be like this. I don't need to. I could slim down. Be all right with that. All right, I'm done for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for checking out the show. It's episode 237, brought to you by our good friend, Jelly Roll. Yeah. I'll read these comments real quick. Black car suitcase. Sounds like a Men in Black situation. That's good. This was a great show for Tuesday. You're not allowed the day off. LOL. And then Jelly Roll, I bet. Yeah, I think, Jelly Roll, sure. I'm thinking of people I know in real life. I've got one person I suspect has been involved in the usage of this. But if it's 1 in 8 Americans, and I know a bunch. 1 in 8's not. I'll talk to my doctor. I'll talk to my doctor about that. Although like I said, I kind of need a new doctor. I didn't like my doctor. My doctor retired, and then I went to the doctor, and I got this other doctor, and he's too young. I need my doctor to be my age or older, or close. This is could have been my kid. I had kids late, so I'm 51, and my oldest is 13. But I didn't have kids till I was almost 40. If I had had kids at 25, there could be a 26-year-old. Yeah, this could be my kid. This doctor. He can't be my doctor. I need somebody old like me. Show me some respect. All right, that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up. Be back tomorrow, 10 o'clock. I promise. And Bob Gahn will join me tomorrow at 11. That'll be fun. Thanks for listening and tuning in to RITER Radio, episode 237. Bye.
Lunch. I don't know. I have a turkey sandwich. We're gonna go around the corner. I think you should come with us. This is a great place. Okay. We brought you a shirt.
You get out of here? Will you get out of here? Will you? Now, will you go to lunch? Go to lunch. Will you go to lunch?